Hey everybody, back on YouTube today. It's been a little while. I was having some recording issues, but I think I got it all taken care of. But I came barefaced as usual. The day after a dermatology appointment. If you can see, I had some spots frozen off. I had a chemical peel, so I couldn't do any makeup yesterday, so I just did a ton of skincare. But I wanted to talk today about something that I've been trying a lot of recently, and I've been really nervous to talk about it because the perception of certain MLMs are really negative. But what I did discover was that I just really freaking loved the foundation. So I was doing some research on Facebook and some makeup groups and online and reading, and I discovered a brand of makeup called Limelife by Alcone. And what makes this MLM different than any other one is that it originally started in 1952 as a professional makeup company for film and TV. Starlets, they had their makeup formulated at Alcone. They only used Alcone. They were the premier makeup company of the time. And so what they noticed was that everyone loved the makeup. And so they wanted to create an opportunity for makeup artists and, all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, I'm a chick that wants to wear makeup and I don't want it to crease. I want it to look good. So this is my trouble spot here. I hope I'm looking at the right place in the camera. I apologize. But so I've been playing with the foundation since August of last year. I didn't talk to anybody about it because I also have the same negative connotations about MLMs. I've done several. I've done Mary Kay. I've done Creative Memories. I did Discovery Toys. I'm pretty sure I've done at least one more, over the years, as stay-at-home moms do. They can be great opportunities, but what I'm looking at here isn't the business model. So I'm not looking to create an army or, anything like that. My primary goal in life is to be a makeup artist and to use and apply good makeup that makes women feel and look amazing. But the older I get, I'm becoming more conscious of what's in the makeup that I'm putting on my skin. So that's another thing that led me to like Limelife by Alcone. So I actually made some notes here because I wanted to make sure I got it all. Like I said, I've been a little nervous to talk about it, but I feel like why not? Overthinking it is something I'm so good at doing. So I'm just going to talk about it. I'm just going to present it. I have not used everything, so I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm only going to talk about what I've used because I do believe that at this point, the people I've done makeup on do trust my opinion. I don't think I've ever led anyone down the wrong path with makeup or skincare. I try to be very helpful and informative. I don't really gain much or really anything by you buying or not buying certain makeup. I am trying affiliate work, but to be honest, my 47-year-old brain, I don't think is really processing how to do that, how to get it going. So I have no idea. I may or may not earn pennies on something, but I don't know. But I'm here today to talk about Limelife. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to talk about what I've used from Limelife by Alcone, what I like about it. So I'm going to kind of go through my list because one thing I did like I said, was that it was professional makeup quality. So sometimes with MLM makeup companies, they are very consumer based. That's what they're for. Consumers are buying them. But I really like that as a makeup artist, that this is professional makeup, screen quality makeup that you can now buy and use very affordably. It is very competitive to anything else out there. Like I said, and I hate spending a ton of money on makeup because I'd rather spend less and buy more. So I started playing with the foundation in August. To be honest, when I first tried it, I didn't really like it. I didn't see what people were talking about. I wasn't applying it correctly. So what I didn't know about the foundation at the time is that it is 50% pigment. So it's very high pigment level. Most foundations in the Sephora and Ulta, they're, I believe, between 24 and like 36 to 38% pigment, I think is what I've heard. But this is 50, so a little bit goes a long way. So it's going to make your dollar stretch longer, which is great. It's also wax-based. It's vegetable wax-based, so it doesn't sink into pores or fine lines, which is what made it hopeful for me, because everything sinks into my forehead, which I've consistently, and I apologize, but I always complain about that. But when I learned how to work with it and just played with it differently, it is my favorite now. It goes on so well. It does sit on top of the surface, so it doesn't go into pores and fine lines. The colors are great. They have over 25 shades, I believe. The darker shades were co-formulated by a really well-known makeup artist named Danessa Myricks, who I'm a big fan of, who has partnered with this line for years and created products. So the colors are they're good. They match people. Everybody has a match, which is fantastic. I'm going to go into, so the foundation, like I said, it's 50% pigment, but the whole line, it's cruelty-free, it's vegan, it's clean. They have the bunny certification. It's free of harsh chemicals. The ingredients are safe, responsibly harvested. Plant-based, they're paraben and sulfate free. One of the CEOs, Michelle, had one of her closest friends pass from cancer that they discovered was related to ingredients in products that she was using. So it became her mission to rid those products of everything out of Limelife by Alcone, and that's kind of how it was created. So the Alcone store in New York, they actually went to other brands that they have been using and selling in their stores for years and helped them create the Limelife by Alcone products. So it's kind of the best of the best of the professional makeup world put into this a little more consumer friendly packaging for purchase. But I'm just going to do some makeup today and talk about the stuff that I've used. Like I said, I haven't used everything, but what I have used I really like. I did use today the Skin Therapy, you can't even with the light. It is the Skin Therapy Pomegranate and Oat Face Moisturizer for normal to dry skin. It is a little heavy for me at the moment because I'm definitely combo, but it did soak in and it was hydrating, so I could see for someone who's a little drier, this thicker consistency would be really nice. There's also no perfumes in it, so the smells are very natural smelling, if you know what I mean. I'm going to do, so I normally do a beauty oil a lot of the times when I do my foundation, so they have two. I'm going to use the Due Date, which is like their intensely like anti-aging one. They do have another one, it's called I think One Drop Wonder, and that one is much more lightweight and kind of intended for makeup use, but why not? So I'm going to put a little bit of this one on. A little goes a long way. So it has in it, let's see what it says here. Palmarosa and sunflower oil. So we're gonna let that sit. I did already put my eye primer on. Just press the rest into the back of my hands. So we're just gonna let that sit for a minute. I'll start with my eyebrows. I have not tried their eyebrow stuff yet, but one day I will. I'm slowly getting all their stuff in there. So I will stick to my MAC eyebrows for now. Catch you in a minute. So I was told once that I had sperm eyebrows, which I don't think they meant to be insulting, but didn't necessarily feel like a compliment either. But apparently this is no longer cool, this, 90s notch. So I fill that in because I don't want sperm eyebrows. Okay, so I'm going to do a super kind of natural smoky eye today. We're just going to do it really, really almost kind of retro with a little wing. because I want to try some more of the Limelife products for you today. So I'm going to do just a little bit of white. Okay, so we may go back to the gem palette, but I want to do my crease, and I'm going to use my bronzer that I got in my blush and bronzer trio from Limelife. The pigment is good. Yes, it is good. A little goes a long way. So I'm just going to contour my eye a little bit. Let's see. Hopefully I can do it without the mirror. Just really softly. So you can just see the difference between the two eyes. I'll get the darker bronzer soon, and that might be a little better, but just for today, this is fine. There we go. I'll go back to the gem palette for that white to highlight under my brow bone. It's funny, in this whole palette, I might only just use the white today, but that's okay. There we go. So I'm just looking to add dimension to my eye, not a whole bunch. So I kind of have to do this around my brow with the no makeup just because I have such a ridiculous amount of space. But most people don't have to for no makeup. I may do just a touch of the brown here, just a little bit, just to give a little more depth. There we go. So just because something's a blush or a bronzer doesn't mean you can't use it on your eyes. So remember that, and you might have a little more fun with some of your stuff. So just a little dimension. I don't normally wear a wing liner, but I'm going to do a little bit of a wing today using the Limelife by Alcone. What is it called? Perfect eyeliner, of course. So we're going to do that. I like it because it's nice and fine, if you can see. So you can get a very fine line. Just very fine, just for a little definition. And I'm going to stop it before I go into my inner corner. I don't want it to go all the way in because that's a little more dramatic than I'm looking for today. So you can see I got the finest line. So I'll do a little bit of a kitten. I will admit I don't necessarily have the eye for it anymore, but sometimes I want to be a rebel and I'm going to do it anyway. So the biggest key with doing a wing on a more mature eyeball is that you really have to make sure that you keep your eyebrows down, because you really need to see where this outer fold is on your eye so that you can take it down enough. Mine are pretty much straight out now at this point. But I love this because you can get a fine line. I mean, look at that point. So here's one tip also. One eye is always going to be slightly than the other. So start with that eye first so that you can get that wing low enough so that when you go to the other side that has a little more wiggle room, you can match it to the side that's a little, you know, okay? So I can get that fine point that I don't normally get unless I drag out a gel liner. So that is the Limelife liquid liner. I love it. Another way I like to use it is I can go up through my lashes and kind of tight line a little bit. This way they're super fine. I'm going to cure that up just a little bit. Okay. Nobody's wing eyeliner is always perfect on each side. It's just got to be close enough. All right, so let's curl the lashes. All right, I will always use mascara primer because I like thick, beefy lashes. Let's use the Limelife Perfect Mascara. I love the thick, fluffy brush. I do like this mascara because when I talked in another video about mascara formulations, this is a very matte looking mascara, which means it doesn't shine. So that means it's going to be nice and thickening, which is what I like. My goal is to have that thick kind of like curtain of lash every time you blink, but I want it naturally. So, no, I've never achieved it, but it's my goal. Okay, so that's pretty good for a single mascara. You know I always use 2 or 3. Like that. Okay, so I will go on top of it like normal with my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. So this mascara is a little wetter. If you can see, it's a little shinier. So this mascara is going to give me my length. Okay, so there's my length. That's why I use different mascaras. I'm a little obsessive. But I don't think one can really do both. So now that I've thickened and lengthened, now I'm going to separate with their reel. Because I don't want to put false lashes on today. I don't know if you can see close. I have a little gap in these lashes because it's always where I set my eyelashes down. So they always thin out a little bit there. So this mascara is just the icing on the cherry. The cherry on the ice cream. You know what I'm talking about. I'm so smart sometimes. Okay. So I think that's a pretty good natural eye. I use the Limelife eyeliner. I use the mascara in part of my normal obsessive mascara layering. So I did like that. I'm going to move on to my foundation now. I will say I'm a little tan at the moment. So instead of doing my normal Shinto one, which is what I've been using, I'm going to use a little of the Shinto 2 from my Pro palette. Let me grab the Pro palette. I cannot wait to use this on you guys. If I've ever done your makeup, I want to do your makeup again, and I want to use this foundation because I want to see what it does on your skin. So, call me. And when we can, let's do some makeup. Okay, so I'm going to use Shinto 2 today. So normally I go just right out of the pan with mine, but since this is my pro kit, I'm going to spatula it out. And a little goes a long way. So I'm going to warm it up just a little bit on my skin. Let's see. There we go. And just kind of spread it around a little bit. I'll grab my brush. So remember, 50% pigment, you don't need a lot. Okay, so clearly I have to get my Shinto 2 for summer. So what's kind of cool about the foundation is, even though I can't touch your beautiful face right now, which I really would love to do makeup, they have this quiz online that helps you determine your color. It's usually always right, which is how I found my Shinto 1 color, which was my pre-summer, my pre-summer color. So let's get this going. Ooh. Okay, this is much better than my one. So just the foundation is going to give me pretty good coverage here. I mean, that's covered. So I don't have it, but Limelife sells a foundation, which like a compact, which has the one foundation and 2 concealers. So you can have like a face concealer and a highlight concealer. So if you have any scarring or melasma or something, you can have a more concentrated concealer for face covering, and then one for under your eye to brighten. So that's kind of cool. All right, so yes, so that's foundation. I'm going to use my same concealer. It'll just be a little more highlighty now. You can use a brush. I did use a brush in the beginning, but now I just kind of like use my finger for concealer. And doing this kind of retro, no makeup, I am going to take the concealer kind of right up. I don't want any color, like eyeshadow or anything, under my eye. And I have very deep hollows here, so I always want to make sure that I press it in the inside corner too. I'm probably going to get actually a lighter shade just to kind of press into that space. Okay, so the one thing with using your finger is it does lighten up the product, warm up the product a little bit. So in places here, like where you're trying to layer and get coverage, don't use your finger, because your finger will warm it up and kind of it'll kind of pull it on and take it off, pull it on and take it off. So I'm just kind of highlighting a little bit with the lighter concealer. For my car wreck nose from when I was little. Okay, just a little bit. So just adding a little bit of dimension and highlight to the face, just a tad. Okay, so I'm gonna soften this a little bit. What I'm going to do is go in with my concealer brush and actually try to work on this spot a little more. I'm gonna pick up what I can of what's left of the dark color and press it here. Wasn't much. And so now I'm gonna go in with my brush and tap it. So, I mean, these are full on liquid nitrogen burns, basically. So, I mean, that covered it. So if you have some melasma or some spots that really bother you, this foundation might be really good for you to try. I'm gonna go in just a little bit of my Shinto one that's a little darker. Actually, I shouldn't use my finger, use my brush. And just kind of tap onto it as well. So just kind of add a little here. I'm just to color balance a little bit. Okay. Get in around my nose. Okay, so another little trick for our awesome faces is if we have little kind of places where we're losing some of the fat pockets, like right here I'm beginning to get the marionette lines, you know, like right here. So that is something you can lighten a little bit visually with concealer. So very little bit you can take. I'm gonna squeeze my brush. It has to be light, it can't be really dramatic because it's noticeable in person, but you can kind of add a little bit of not highlighter, but a lighter color concealer in the places where you feel like you're kind of losing the fill a little bit, just so it kind of visually brings it forward. So I'm just gonna kind of tap that in a little bit, just a little. You can see it's also happening to me up here, side sleeping. So I may see if there's a tiny bit left here. I try to sleep on my back and it doesn't work. So, whatever, you get it. Okay. All right, so that is my complexion with the Limelife by Alcone foundation and concealer. I love it. It's not creasing in my forehead. If you can see, it's not gathering. See, I can move my forehead. I love it. They do have powders to set. I don't have any of those right now because I do love, as you know, my Guerlain Meteorite powder. So I'm gonna use that today. And when this runs out, I'll probably buy another one. So the Color Pearls balance skin tone, brighten skin tone, slightly luminous, which is nice if you're a little dry or if you just like to be a little luminous. I know a lot of us do. So these pearls in particular give your face like a soft focus. Hourglass powders do the same thing. I believe Becca has a blurring powder. So you kind of want to look for blurring powders. That's what those do. All right, so I'm going to go in with my blush and bronzer palette from Limelife today. I used the bronzer on my eyes, so it was very soft, but let's see. This is the light one. I think there's different shades. Okay. I do love this bronzer. It has a little bit of shimmer, but it's not glitter. It's not super strong. It just gives the face a healthy glow. I really love this light pinky peachy blush. It reminds me a little bit of Coralista from Benefit, which you can't get anymore. It doesn't have quite as much shimmer as Coralista. But I do love it. All right, so that's blush and bronzer. Is that the same? I think it's the same. Not like I'm going anywhere today, but anyway. So that is the blush and bronzer from Limelife. Let's see, there's really not much else to do but lips. So there's a few different choices with lips. And I think, I don't know if I brought one. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the lips, they have liquid lipstick, they have matte lipstick, they have sheer lipstick, cream lipstick, liquid lipstick, and lip gloss. So they've got all your lip needs. They have lip pencils. I will say their lip pencil design is very similar to Smashbox, which I've always loved. It stays sharp. So when you pull it out, it's sharp. So every time you pull it in or put it in and screw the top, it pulls it up a tiny bit and sharpens it. So you never have to sharpen your pencil. You don't have to have that mess in your purse. The mess doesn't get around in your purse, but see, I opened it, and so now it's a little bit sharper. So I love that. This nude for me, I think, is the nude 1. 2, light nude. It's the perfect nude for me. So I'm going to line my lips. It's very soft. Okay, so it's just a beautiful nude. And the one trick I will tell you about these, so if you put these on, when you get it like that, but not twisted shut like that. So when you twist it shut like that, that's when you actually get it pulled up and sharpened. So if you've only used it a little bit and you don't need it sharpened, just leave it that one hair loose and you won't get your product pulled up and sharpened. So it can last a little bit longer. I've only tried a couple of their lipsticks. I love their 100. It's a really pretty nude. It's a little darker nude, but I love it. Very pretty. This is the kind of cream formula. I love it. So very pretty, very creamy. I've been wearing them a little bit around the house. They last a really long time. Been super happy with that. So they have the liquid lipstick, you know, like everybody. I will say I've not tried the formula yet because I'm not a super fan of pink, but I'm going to order a different color and try it. I have tried the lip gloss. I mean, check this out. Holy crap. I don't know about you, but I want everything in my purse to look like that. And there's a mirror. I mean, hello. There's a mirror so I can do my lips. Smells good. Okay. So I put it over the 100 nude lipstick. But if you know me, you know this is my shit, right? So I love it. I absolutely love this. I just need every shade so I can have that in my purse. So my brides are going to get one of these in their kit from now on, because what bride wouldn't want a diamond lip gloss? I mean, come on. So, yeah, this is my makeup for today. Just light, natural. Yeah, so if you have any questions about Limelife, I would love to answer them. Below, I will put that foundation quiz link. So if you're curious, you can take the quiz and it tells you what color that you would wear. The foundation is $36, so it's very competitive with anything out there. I will say some people I've seen watching videos will take a beauty blender and come into it. Although I normally love the beauty blender, for me with this foundation, mixing the water with the wax base did not work well for me. And I think that's why I wasn't a fan in the beginning. So the wax will mix with oils. So that's why it reacted so beautifully when I put the Due Date or the Korres oil or the Danessa Myricks beauty oil underneath. So that was my learning curve that took me a few months of disliking it to realize it was user error. But yeah, so if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. I'm not going to go all balls to the wall for you guys, but I have always shared products that I like, and these products I really like. I've been really happy with them. Yeah, I will say you do need a setting spray over the foundation, like 95% of the foundations out there. I think that's a safe statement to make. It certainly, it just looks good. I love it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope if you're in the mood, you will maybe try the foundation or give it a shot. If you have any questions, let me know. There's all kinds of options online. You can, just have fun. Check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. I love you guys. I cannot wait to get any and all of you back in my chair. I want to do your makeup. I miss you terribly. Yeah, I love you. Let's make up soon.